Okay, I'm seeing the little live here thing on Facebook. So good afternoon, Wolves fans. Maybe you're watching us over your lunch hour, or maybe you're taking a little break here. But thanks for joining us. This is the Wolves Coffee Hour, and episode 10. That's kind of a milestone. I know like TV shows get syndicated after 100 episodes, so maybe this is our kind of version of that. And the show has been consistently good. And I don't want to brag, but the two consistent factors on this are Austin and I. So I'm not saying we're the reason for success, but I am also saying that we're the reason for success. So co-host Austin Heave, how you doing?
Good. Hope everyone's doing well out there, trying to stay cool. Yesterday was, I like the heat, but wow, that was hot in June.
Yeah.
Wasn't ready for it.
Stay inside, hit the sunscreen. Before we get into the other introductions here, we're going to go over how you guys can get involved. So if you're watching and you've got a question for anyone on the show today, you can comment live on this Facebook video. Just right in the comment section. We'll fire those off. We got Ashley helping us field questions here. Or on Twitter, you can do that. That's at Wolves Athletics and hashtag Wolves Coffee Hour, and we will get in as many of those questions as we can. No promises, but we'll do our best. So milestone episode here, episode 10. We got the swimming team head coach, Nicole Monanian. And the way you pronounce that is like companion, right? Is that the kind of the mnemonic you give?
That's it.
Okay, if you guys see her on the street, think companion, say Monanian, okay? Okay, got it. We're all good. Now we've got it established. Okay. And we've got Marialuisa, but what's I've never heard anyone call you that. What are we going with today?
They call me Malu, so.
Malu?
Yeah.
Okay,
Malu.
we're gonna go Malu,
Okay.
and then we got Hazel and Lauren. It's kind of nice, typically we have more athletes on here that we can keep track of. It's just 3 instead of the usual 4 or 5, so that's good. And we're gonna start it off with the boss of your team here, Nicole. What do you got going on? Any quarantine projects, any movies, any binging shows you've been, give us a rundown on what you got going on here these last couple weeks.
Yeah, so for sure, just like everybody else, I watched Tiger King. I don't know, I think most people watch that.
A classic. There's no way around it. There's no way around it.
Yeah, and I'm just starting Billions.
Oh, that's good.
On Showtime. Have you seen
good.
it? I've only watched one episode, but
what streaming service is that on?
What? It's on Showtime.
What streaming service? Showtime. Okay, not a big Showtime guy, but
yeah, I'm
maybe
excited. One of the alumni, Michaela, and I have been getting together, and we're gonna start watching it. We were gonna watch last week, but then it was nice outside, so we sat outside instead of watching. But we're gonna get back at it.
Yeah, if you sit outside instead of watching TV, probably not the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
So did Carol Baskin kill her husband?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I want a Forensic Files to come
She
out on
did.
it. Like, where's Forensic Files with the Carol Baskin story?
Yeah. I'm all on board for that, Nicole. I'm all on board.
Yeah, I listen to, more podcasts than I'd like to admit of, some detectives digging into the case, and I think the water's a little bit more muddy than you might think. I think Netflix might have a little bit out of their way to put Joe Exotic in a good light, but nonetheless. Anything else, Nicole? Anything else going on?
Not too much. Not too much.
Back in the office now, so no
Yes.
more messing around. It's back to work, right?
Yeah, we were excited to get in the pool yesterday. We had a mini practice, so it was nice to smell some chlorine air and get back in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're going to ask you about that when we kind of cycle through here. But Malu, what do you got going on here these last couple weeks? And for the athletes here, maybe if it's just Wolves fans tuning in, they don't know you personally yet. So just say what year academically, athletically, and then let's give us your area, kind of your event area of expertise here. Let's go with that.
Okay, so I'm originally from Panama, so that's like south, really south. So it's been really hot, and I'm a junior. Yeah, I swim flying free, and I do the 50s and the 100 and the 200s, sadly. But I've been trying to be healthier what I eat because we are not in the water. So I'm trying to get skinnier, but you know how that goes. But it's been good. Besides that.
Yeah, no, that's good. Everyone's, you gotta do what you can. Gotta do what you can. Absolutely. Hazel, you're up next. What do you got for us?
I'm Hazel and I'm a senior and I do sprint freestyle, kind of. I'm really here for a good time and I like to work out, so that's why I came. But during quarantine, I've been building a lot of chairs with my dad and doing that. So that's what we've been up to.
Okay, so
like woodworking?
Follow, yeah.
Yeah. We have like our business or nonprofit missionary. We like go on mission trips and teach people self-defense as a family. And so one way we fund that is we build like Adirondack deck chairs.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Out of like cedar and pine.
Adirondack desk chair?
Yeah, like, like you see them on people's decks at the lake.
Like the panels? You got like the wood panels on the...
What was that?
That's sick. My next...
Like the wood panels, the strips of wood on the Adirondack chairs. Is that
and they kind of are like lean back and they're low to the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, follow-up question. How much?
A pine one is $125 and a cedar one is $150 or $175. But then we can make like doubles, so it's like 2 chairs together, and I don't know how much those are. And he makes like little for them. I don't know. Yeah,
after we're not live anymore, stay on. You might be getting an order. We'll see if things go. If I'm satisfied with everyone's performance today, then we'll see. So, people are doing what they can. Hazel's making chairs. Lauren, what have you been up to?
So I'm in South Africa. So I'm in the same boat as Malu. I'm pretty far south from the equator. And our lockdown, I think, has been very different to you guys over in the States. It was quite serious in the beginning. So we have 5 different levels of lockdown. And level 5 was like the highest we had. And basically you were only allowed to leave your house to go grocery shopping and like to get things that you really needed at home. A lot of people weren't at work. Like if you could work from home, you were allowed to work from home and encouraged to. So basically like the first month that I was at home, I literally didn't leave the house because I had to self-quarantine for 2 weeks at home. And then I didn't really need to go out because my older sister's doing the shopping. So I've literally been hibernating at home. But now we're in level 3. So our restaurants have opened back up again, like drive-thrus and that kind of thing. So that's really exciting. But yeah, I've been out of the water since basically February. So it's going to be interesting to come back to the water, but I'm super excited.
You tethered yourself in the pool, didn't you?
Yeah. It's quite hard to find the motivation though, because my pool isn't heated. We're going into winter now, obviously, because we're on the other side of the world. So it's pretty cold here in the mornings and the evenings. So that's been interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I was just going to say, I think a lot of us saw, the people who are around Northern saw the video. Could you walk us through the setup that you had with the tether system to be able to, it's like you turned a regular pool essentially into an infinity pool with like a rope. Can you like try to paint the picture for the people who are watching and don't know what we're talking about here?
Yeah. So I have my washing line like right behind my pool. So where we hang our washing. And so I tied just a normal nylon rope to the washing line pole. And then I had like a normal stretch band stretch cord around my waist. And then I tied the nylon rope to that stretch band and hopped in the pool.
That is some creative. Yeah, you know, you've seen like the people making cement dumbbells and you know, like a big, like a wooden dumbbell with like tree stumps on either side and stuff. So it's just another kind of fun way to see what people are coming up with. No, that's awesome. Okay, any other movie recommendations, music recommendations from you guys? Anything we should check out?
Oh, the documentary from this guy named
Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey.
I watched
Oh
that.
my God. Oh my God. I was obsessed. Yeah, it's really good.
I don't know a whole lot about it, but I'll get right on that and get back to you guys.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where everyone's at. Now the next thing we've been doing, we kind of started off the show, you know, first couple episodes we did hot takes. Now we kind of switched to kind of some theoreticals. So both Austin and I are going to pose a question, and then we're going to go around the horn and get people's takes on it, and kind of see where it goes. Austin, you want to do the first one? Me, the first one? How are we doing this? Oh, Austin, we got no audio from you.
You go for the first one. I'll follow up with the second one.
Okay. So, and this is especially hard because you guys are swimmers. This question, and I didn't do this on purpose. If you could only have knees or only have elbows, what would you choose? This is assuming if you pick elbows, your knees are always locked. So it's just straight leg.
Oh God.
Malu, go. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, either way are gonna be awful though, I feel.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So this is a lesser of two evils question. Obviously, either one is going to be challenging. But what would you go with?
I will say elbows.
You
Probably
would rather
elbows.
have?
Yeah.
You want
I think
elbows?
because I mean knees, it's kind of elbows. So might as well go with elbows. You know, I mean knees, they're not.
Yeah, it would be tough. The ergonomics of like being at a desk would be tough. Like you would be like this, like you would just be like locked, like your arms would have to be straight. Like that's my biggest drawback. Hazel, thoughts on this one?
I think I would have to go with like knees, like being able to use my knees. Because like I can't get down into like, you know, my like dive position because I'm so tall if my knees are locked. Just have to like.
And your arms are locked for the dive position anyways, so
right. Like it
something to think about, right?
I would definitely say I need my knees.
And plus stairs, right?
And stairs. Yeah.
Wait, so are we talking about only having one or the other? Or are you talking about replacing your elbows with knees?
No.
No. It's only, actually that would be, well, I think that would be the same. You just have huge elbows if you, or really small knees, either
weird.
way. I'm gonna assume that we're having one and the other one's just like locked straight.
Okay.
For purposes of this question.
I got it. Okay. Thanks.
Lauren, a lot of good answers. Any way you can follow that up?
I feel like I agree with Hazel because I feel like freestyle and fly, you can swim with straight arms, kind of. Because I mean, we practice freestyle straight arm drill. But to swim fly with locked knees is basically impossible. In water. So I feel like my knees.
I love how they're all really concerned. With how it's going to relate to their swimming.
I was just gonna say.
No one's been like, wow,
Nicole is so pumped.
Good answers, guys. Good answers.
No one's talked about driving. No one's talked about schoolwork. No one. We've just got. How much style's gonna work here?
Everyone missed the single biggest thing. For those of you who chose knees, how are you gonna eat? How are you gonna like? What do you got going on here?
Oh my God, that's true.
It doesn't matter how good you can swim if you can't get any fuel.
Straws.
Okay.
Face down. Let's go face down.
Yeah.
Hey, chalk one up for me on that one. Austin.
All right. Go to the next one.
The next one.
you had to replace each of your forearms with kitchen utensils, what would you choose?
What is going on?
You no longer get hands. You have to have. You can pick one utensil to be on each arm. What would your choices be? Let's start with Hazel this time.
So would I get like one utensil for one arm and then a different one, or like two of the same?
You could.
You could go one and one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kitchen utensils. I think I would pick tongs, because would I be able to like open and close them?
Yeah,
That was a good play.
Yes.
That was a good play.
That's the right answer.
One hand, and then maybe I don't know what I think I'd do tongs for both. I think that would be the most useful.
I could see that.
I'm not really sure.
True.
You can like
I'm
open
thinking
doors.
maybe knife or I'm thinking maybe knife or fork on the other one. Go tongs one, knife or fork on the other. But I don't hate tongs on both.
Knife.
Yeah, it'd be dangerous. A little Edward Scissorhands going on. But
Yeah, but I'm assuming like when you go to bed, you could put like a sheath on it or something. Like you could like put a sword cover on it and like.
Would you
see,
ever
but,
be
you know,
allowed
you
to
don't-
fly, or would you not be allowed to fly anymore?
these are the questions we're here for. All right, Lauren, what do you think? Two utensils.
I would have a spork on one. So
I like it.
spoon
That's a heavy
and
play.
fork.
That's a good play.
That is
Because
savvy.
I eat like a lot of yogurt, so I can't have like a knife and fork. Because
Not if you don't have elbows.
true. It's very true.
Oh my
I don't know what I'd have on the other one. Maybe I'd have a knife on the other one, so I could like cut meat and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a
I
well-rounded.
kind of like the idea of having a knife too.
Yeah.
I like that too. All right, Malu, how about you?
I think I would do a fork and maybe, a spoon, I think, because knife, why do we need knife though? We can cut it with our teeth are there for, so, I mean, we don't actually need a knife. I don't think so. So we do need a spoon though. And a
Yeah.
fork.
Soup's overrated. I think you could take like a yogurt thing and crush it with the tongs, and you know what I mean? Like, and then
So
the yogurt
straw.
would just fall out.
Just eat soup with straw/fork.
It's not a bad idea. I would choose. No one
But you
asked,
lose
but I'm
cereal.
gonna give my opinion anyways.
You lose cereal. You lose out on cereal with that though.
Not a cereal guy. I would choose tongs and a creme brulee torch, because I think it'd be sick. I would basically just be able to start fires whenever I wanted. Campfires, I'm the man. Like, that'd be so sick. It's
How do you refill
and it has.
How do you refill the butane?
It's assumed that it's just like somehow like perpetually fueled from my body. So like campfires, I'm the man. Like where's this? We gotta start the grill. I'm right there. We gotta torch creme brulee. I'm right there. Like that's okay. Yeah, that's probably enough of that, huh?
Well, let's see what Nicole, what are you thinking?
I like the tongs, so I'm gonna steal Hazel's tongs, and then I think maybe like, those like spoked spaghetti scoops. So it's kind of like a spork, but not really. It's like bigger, so you could like scoop things up and carry it. That maybe isn't
like a
food.
It's like a ladle with.
But like pokey.
Like fork spokes.
Yeah. That thing. The
and
spaghetti scooper.
Is it slotted?
No.
Yeah, like a
slightly.
No.
Slightly slotted.
Okay.
Not like a big hole, like, but a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like that's
like
useful,
more of a
like
sieve.
outside of eating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A lot of things to think about there. I'm gonna continue to think on that. We'll see. Are we ready for the next one?
Let's roll with it.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of jump around here a little bit. I kind of like this one. Okay. There's two buttons in front of you. Okay. One button, you press it, you instantly get $1 million, right? The other button, 50-50 chance you get 100 million or nothing.
Oh.
What do you do? We'll go reverse here. So we'll go Malu. You taking
Wait,
the million, or you rolling the dice on the hundo?
I think I will go safe. Money, I will pay all my debt, so I will go safe. I think I will go for the million, I think. Yeah.
All right, respectable. Hazel?
I think I would go the 50-50 because if I had like 100, I could pay off my like debt and put some away, but then I could also use a lot of it to help other people, and I think that's important. And then if I didn't have any, like I wouldn't be like, I'd be right where I was.
Yeah. 100 milli is a lot of chairs, right? Holy cow.
That's a lot of chairs.
Lot of Adirondack office chairs. Just so many. More than you could ever deal with. That's incredible. Incredible. Well, if you ever win 100 million, I expect it. I'm gonna call in my favor for a free chair. Lauren, what do you got for us?
I think I agree with Marlu. I think I'd play it safe.
Yeah.
But then Hazel makes a very good point because she said if you roll 50-50 and you don't get the money, you haven't really lost anything because you're in the same.
You have to live with the
that
fact that you could have had $1 million though.
That's true.
Exactly, and I think I'd hate myself if I didn't win.
That
When I could.
I thought the exact same thing. Yeah. Nicole.
I feel like I want to be able to say like I would chance it because you didn't lose anything. You didn't have it when you got there. You didn't have any of it.
But you couldn't.
But I just don't know that I could do that. Like I want to give the Hazel answer, but I don't know that I would be able to.
When push comes to shove, that's not the button you'd hit.
Right? Like
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I want to give that answer, but I think I got to be real honest with myself and be like, no, I would hit the million.
Hazel's
I'm in
too
that
nice.
exact same boat.
What'd you think,
It's
Lou?
almost a lose-lose.
Hazel's too nice though. I couldn't. No.
That is
It's
true
tough
though. So
because
you guys are Adam, you talked about how for the rest of your life you have to be you lost out $1 million, but you are guaranteed to think that way if you take the million. I mean, the rest of your life, if you take the million, you will think, I could have had 100.
Could I have had 100? Yeah. That's what I was just going to say. It's a lose. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. Like $1 million, you'd still have to have a job forever. I think 100 million is like truly stupid money. So I don't know. I'm playing it safe though.
There's a 50-50 chance you don't hate yourself.
Yeah.
All right. We'll go to the next one. All right, I like this one. Would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Wait.
100 duck-sized horses.
A huge duck, like a 400, 500-pound duck, or like 100,
a bunch of
probably
little horses.
4 to 5 pound horses.
I'm going to go first here, and I'm going to take the giant duck strictly on the fact that there are less legs that can kick you.
Okay. All right.
What are we allowed to bring to the fight? Like just ourselves or like a
Your
weapon?
tongs, Hazel, your tongs.
The tongs from your last answer. No, Adam, what do we want to stipulate here? Bat?
I think there's one of two ways we could go with this. It's like, what do we think would win in a fight between the big duck and the small horses, or what do we think we could personally fight? I think the head-to-head.
Let's go horses versus. Let's go.
Yeah,
horses
because
versus
it takes the personal, because like obviously I'm very athletic and strong and all these things, but like I'm not very confident in my fighting ability. So like I would rather not think about trying to fight.
Hazel is literally a black belt, so she would probably win against all of them.
Yeah.
She's not. This proposition doesn't scare her in the slightest.
Yeah, true. Let's just for the purposes of this go horse versus ducks. Let's take our own fighting ability out of it, and we'll kind of see.
So one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses. Who wins in a fight?
The horses, they have more legs.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
And
Lauren.
also, if you put 100 duck-sized horses together, technically, it's gonna be bigger than one horse-sized duck.
True.
It's true.
So you're gonna have to fight more with the 100 sized
Guys, I don't know if I can properly
duck
illustrate
horses.
how scared I am of birds. And this is just I can't pick the big bird. I can't do it. Like that is a non-negotiable for me. That's just movies, the birds. Oh, it's terrifying. All right.
I mean, a
Hazel, what do you
horse-sized
got
duck,
for
you're
us?
essentially
Or,
talking,
Adam,
you're
let's
talking
hear
about you're talking about a dinosaur at that point. Like a horse-sized duck's bill would be like a surfboard. It would be so scary. Yeah, I mean, it's a dinosaur. Okay, sorry.
If you
Okay,
have,
sorry.
if you have
Dinosaur.
all of the duck-sized horses, are they a herd or are they a flock?
Ooh.
Hey, one theoretical at a time here.
Right?
All right,
I
Hazel,
think
what do you
I
think?
would-
What wins?
I think I would pick the horses because I think it'd be easy to overwhelm a duck because they don't have a large attention span. And horses, are pretty smart. So they'd work together to kick the bird's butt.
Yeah.
And the small horses would be so dense too. Like think about if you took the musculature of a horse and scaled it down. I mean, yeah, it's only like a couple feet tall, but it's going to be like a bowling ball. And they're fast. Even if with shortened legs, it'd still be able to run, what I would say 30 miles an hour conservatively. Like just the sheer momentum of something that's like 30 pounds running 30 miles an hour is going to be devastating. The first wave of 30 to 35 is going to take out the duck's legs. And then keep in mind the fact that birds have hollow bones, right? So, I mean, just a litany of reasons why. Okay. Sorry.
Oh my God, Adam.
Did you just
really
increase the
thought
size
that
of the
on
horses?
stuff.
What?
How big did you just make the horses?
Well, I mean, so a duck's on average, what I would estimate like a foot to a foot and a half tall.
Yeah, I guess that's true. And if you go wingspan, that really adds in a whole new layer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Malu, what do you got?
I will go with Hazel too. I think the horses are more like, I don't know, they have more strength they're better, I think, in my opinion, than the other one. So.
I'm the only one who's scared of birds, irrationally.
Well, if there
But
were
you're not in the
frogs,
fight though.
if there
I
were
know, but
frogs,
it's still like it's in consideration. It's still part of the process for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Now, I think if you drop that number of duck-sized horses down to 50, I think we've got a whole new ballgame. Like I think 50 is like the sweet spot of where like
Yep.
the
It's a 50-50 fight. It's a 50-50
yeah,
fight
I think it's a much more evenly matched at 50. But
all right, Adam. Enough ducks and horses. Take it away.
how are we getting? Yeah, I'm talking about ducks versus horses for our job right now. So it's good stuff. Are you gonna do one more? Should we just round it out?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay.
You cut out there, Adam.
We only got one left for what angle we're gonna take on this. If your arms were made of spaghetti, cooked or uncooked?
Oh
what?
no. That's hard.
Wait, I didn't listen.
Yeah, how about now? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, yeah, you're good. Go for it.
Okay. If your arms were made of spaghetti, would you rather them be cooked or uncooked?
Uncook.
But they can break so easy.
Yeah. If they're uncooked, someone could just go
So-
bam, and then you have no
So-
arm.
What?
If your arms were made of spaghetti, would you rather uncooked?
What?
I can't hear you, Adam.
I'm breaking
Yeah, I
in
can hear you.
uncooked form.
Breaking in uncooked form.
What's happening?
But they're completely useless.
Oh, Adam.
Yeah, true. You could slap.
Adam, we cannot hear you. And
We have technical issues.
Yeah, you guys are cutting in and out, and then we can all hear each other, but it's really staticky when you guys talk. So we just keep hearing bits and pieces of useless arms uncooked and chopping, and it's entertaining. Sounds like we're making a salad, but
Hello.
Me?
well, Lauren, what would you pick?
I would have to go with cooked because I feel like spaghetti breaks more easily when it's not cooked.
Yeah.
I'm trying again. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're back.
Okay, there we
We're
go. We're back, baby. Let's go. Okay. Has everyone answered? I'm hoping that you guys took it from where we left off. Has anyone answered yet?
Lauren just answered. That was it.
Okay. Hazel, what do you got for us?
I think I would agree with Lauren and do the cooked noodles because I think uncooked would break super easy.
Yeah.
And also with like cooked noodles, I mean, like, yeah, they're kind of floppy, but like you could really keep your 6 feet apart with like, you know, spin them
You could just
around.
kind of like slap people. Yeah, for sure. And now Austin and I were talking about this one earlier, and I think there's two trains of thought here in the, spaghetti arms world. And one is that your arms would actually be made of spaghetti, and the other one would be that they were similar consistency. So like, would you rather have like very rigid, unmovable arms or like very soft, very weak arms? But I think either way, it's the same. Like uncooked, they would break. That'd be the scariest part for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Austin's still working on his audio here, but any other thoughts on any of those?
Nope.
All good? Speak now. Okay. So now we're going to kind of switch gears a little bit, and we're going to go into kind of some individual questions for each of you. Just a little bit about, maybe your season or, some competitions that you had in the past.
Am I being heard?
Oh, hey, we're back. We're all back. Hey, look, we're just rolling with the punches. We're just back on track. Nothing can stop us, unless my audio goes out again. Malu, question for you. So you redshirted the 18-19 season and then competed, very well this last year. Just looking at, some different things. You personal best in 5 different events in the 19-20 season, and you took you placed in the NSIC championships in the 100 fly. Coming off a year where you didn't compete, how did you then come into the 19-20 season just so sharp and ready to place? Because the NSIC is tough in any sport. So kind of talk about that transition and kind of what you went through from redshirt and then into this year.
Yeah, for sure. Well, 2018 was kind of a year that I was like, okay, I need to get my things together because I was like, what should I do? I didn't know like how to approach the fact that I was going to be not able to compete for a year. So I was like, okay, I talked with my parents and they told me like, you still need to, and I talked with Nicole too, and the fact that I needed also to stay in shape because that's primarily my goal was to like keep in shape as much as I can. So I literally try to do my best to keep in shape. And then when they left for our conference last year, I stayed and I did like workouts and some stuff that keep me like in shape. So I didn't was totally out of the water for this season that I was going to be competing.
Yeah.
So I also came back home for summer and I started training with my club here. So that also kind of helped me with like not being able to be back with like no swimming at all or competing. So I also compete a little while here in like some meets and to see where I was going. So it was not that I was not like completely out of shape. So I try to stay in shape as much as I can. Now I think right now is the time that I haven't like been in shape in like 3 weeks or 3 months, or that I haven't been in the water for a long time, and it's kind of scary, but we'll see what we can do. So, but yeah, I mean, my season, I did not expect to do as good as I did. So I was happy with what I was doing. I was not even expecting to do like finals or anything at all, because I knew that I was not, I mean, swimming competitively for a year. So I was like, okay, we'll see what we can do. And I talked with Nicole. And so, I mean, I was shocked that I even did 57 in fly, because I never in my life did that. So, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it kind of sounds. I was just gonna say, it kind of sounds like, you know, you need, if you're taking 8th place in the NSIC, really in anything, in any sport, you know, if you're the 8th best at, you know, in any position in any, you know, field sport or court sport, or 8th place in swimming or track or anything like that, it sounds like you you definitely need to give yourself more credit, because that's nothing to, you know, shake a stick at. That's seriously challenging, and especially coming off of a year, you know, where you're not necessarily, you don't know what the competition's like, you don't know what competing in the NSIC is like. So give yourself more credit. And you're obviously, yeah, no, that's good. You know, and I guess, you know, it's everyone, you know, in terms of being out of the pool, I suppose the thing you could maybe take a little bit of solace in is that, you know, most people are probably in the same situation in terms of their facility usage. So, yeah. So there, I don't know why, a little pep talk there, I guess. That wasn't my intention, but that's what it turned into. But yeah, no, that's awesome. That's absolutely a great mindset. So yeah, congratulations on a good season. And with that, if Austin's back here, we might go to him for a question. Okay.
Can you hear me? No, can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can.
Okay, my computer, for some reason my phone won't let me work, but my audio is okay on my computer.
Okay, you just lean into the computer a little bit, then they can hear you better. We are on Lauren, and you're up.
All right, I'm sure the other answers were great. I just wasn't here for them. Lauren, you were top 10 in the NSIC championships in the 100 fly as a freshman. What did you kind of look to, do you think really prepared you for college swimming and getting ready for college swimming?
That's an interesting question. I think here in South Africa, how do I say this? Like, basically, since I started swimming, I was racing the same girls. So I guess the range of swimmers that we have is nowhere near the size of America's. So when I came to college, it was racing different girls of different ages every weekend. Whereas here in South Africa, whenever we had a meet, I literally knew every girl who was swimming with me. I knew their times. I knew what they were capable of. So I feel like here in South Africa, I would often psych myself out even before I swam, because I was like, well, I know she's done this time before, and I haven't really been training that much. And you just hear like all these voices in your head before you even get on the block. Whereas when I got to America, I felt like I was almost a completely different swimmer, because I was able to get on the block and I was like, okay, I've done the training. I don't know any of these people. These people don't know me. So you are literally able to just get up and race. And I think that's what really helped me. I think my mindset just changed completely. And I got a lot more confidence in myself and backed myself a lot more, because I realized, I was like, okay, well, I've done the training. Why am I doubting myself? I think that was the biggest thing.
That makes a lot of sense. And then how would you compare? I know you said the talent pool is bigger here because there are more girls, but how would it compare top end wise, like overall talent level? Pretty similar? Is one better than the other?
I think there's a lot more I want to say hidden talent in America, because so many more girls in our case, because we're an all girls team, there are just so many more competitive swimmers in America. Whereas in South Africa, there's such a small group of us that there's only like a really small percentage of female swimmers in South Africa that actually get anywhere with their swimming. Whereas I feel like in America, there's a lot more opportunity basically for girls to carry on with their swimming after high school level, because I know here in South Africa it's really difficult. We have very few varsities or colleges to choose from compared to America. I mean, we only have like 5 really big universities that we can choose from, and it's so difficult to get recognized as a swimmer when you go to a university. So I just think that's the biggest difference with America. You just have so many more options, and you have the financial support and the facilities to pursue swimming, not necessarily as a career, but you can extend your swimming career past high school level, if that makes sense. Like you can celebrate it a lot more by going to college and competing competitively.
Absolutely. There's a reason you'd say the females here see more of a reason to continue competing throughout.
Exactly.
There's a goal. There's something to swim for type deal. That makes sense.
I'm like nervous to follow that up because anything I say now is not going to be as well said as that. That was awesome. But I'll do my best here. The next question is going to go to Hazel. Hazel, so you swam a PR in the 50 free at the NSIC championship meet. And one thing that I see in college is it's really hard to continue to improve all 4 years in college, or all 3, you know what I mean? Like it's a long 4 years or 5 years or however long, you're in college sports. I mean, that's a long time, and it is really difficult to continue to get better. So I guess, what are some takeaways you have from either your mindset or swimming as a sport or Northern, and kind of what's your mindset? How do you motivate yourself for the sport of swimming?
That is a very good question. I think I'm not super hard on myself because like I have pretty bad asthma when I swim, which is super annoying. But so I just like do the best I can, and like I think all of the girls on the team, they're like a good second family for a lot of people, including myself. And so like to have them beside me, or like behind the blocks or on the other end of the pool, like cheering me on, is just kind of a nice little like boost to keep going. Because like in South Dakota, there's quite a few club swimmers, and like we're all doing our own thing, so not everybody is always right behind you cheering. But like at Northern, there's like 4 or 5 of us on the blocks at the same time, and so like everybody's focused on the one race, and I think that's really how I get myself motivated, I think.
Yeah, that's awesome. You got your teammates to kind of back you up, and it's nice. It's refreshing to hear. I guess to call it people, like you don't hear a lot about positive self-talk a lot. You hear a lot of people. It's and they're kind of hard on themselves. So it's nice to hear you got a good mindset there. We got one individual question left here. Austin, take it away.
Yeah. So Nicole, there are some sports that are, they kind of cult followings, swimming is kind of one of those, you know what I mean? You're in it for life type of deal. I'm a wrestling fan, so it's the same kind of deal. I mean, it attracts people and it sucks you in. And once you're a fan, you're just a fan forever. There's nothing you can do about it. So you spent your whole life swimming, and then you came here to Northern. You've been here now 4 years. Tell us what makes swimming unique. What is the draw for people? What kind of sucks you in and holds you in there?
What makes swimming unique? I would say that swimming is way more exciting once you kind of understand it. I for sure sat in the stands with people who don't, swimming doesn't have the biggest following, and we all know that. We're not, that's not surprising to us. And so to sit in the stands with people who are just learning about it is really cool, because they're like, wow, this is so much more interesting now that like I've been explained X, Y, and Z. But I would say from a perspective of somebody who's gone through it and is involved in it now, the most interesting thing is it's just you. Like, it's at the end of the day, it's just you and that black line. You know, in other sports, you're interacting with each other, whether it's a true team sport, even with track, you know, it's individual, but you can still talk to each other while you're practicing. And in swimming, you can't. Your face is in the water, and all you see is that one black line up and back and up and back, and the occasional feet of the person in front of you. And I think that really teaches you a lot about yourself. And the girls, they're gonna laugh at this, but my coaching philosophy is that you have to be able to swim fast when you're tired. And I tell them that all the time. And I'm always telling you, oh, we've done this set 3 times and we're gonna do it a 4th, because why? Because you have to swim fast when you're tired. But really where that comes from is that through swimming, I learned that I was capable of more than I thought I was. And that's something that I've carried outside of swimming. And that whole concept, like, you have to do that positive self-talk, Adam, like you were talking about, because nobody else is going to do it for you. Your teammates can't tell you, hey, great job. I've heard so many lifting coaches be like, wow, your team's not very vocal. Well, because our faces are in the water the whole time. Also why I'm so loud, because you got to be able to yell to the point where they can hear you in the water. But, you know, I think through swimming, and I think a lot of my athletes will agree with this, that we end up with a very accurate understanding of what we're capable of. You know, you see movies or things and people are like, oh, I could never do that. And like, I can genuinely sit there and know that I wouldn't do it well, I wouldn't want to, but I am capable of doing whatever it is. And I don't know that I would have learned that with so much confidence in a different sport where you rely more maybe on other people telling you, you know, good job, or we got this, or I got your back. You know, like, we have a strong team dynamic at Northern, for sure, something I'm very proud of in building up this team dynamic over the past 4 years. But when you get on the blocks, it's just you. So yeah, the self-confidence piece, I think, makes it.
Yeah, I always thought, you know, my background is track, but when you talk about like just kind of the finality of it, it is pretty brutal. I mean, there's no stats, there's nothing. There's what event you did, and then your entire performance for that week or for that day is a set of probably 4 numbers with a decimal point. There's no stats. You can't say things like, oh, well, you know, and I'm not, this is not meant to downplay other sports, but I can't say, oh, well, I made a few intangible plays or made, you know, a couple. It's really like,
it just was what
yes,
it was.
It's yes or no, successful or unsuccessful. And I do think that the mental strength to have to deal with that day in and day out is impressive. So hats off to all of you for doing what you did in the sport of swimming, because it is those sports that are timed like that. There's no way around it. And you can't, you know, sometimes you can't justify a bad time. You just got to say, hey, today wasn't my day. I'm going to be better next time. But you know what? It is what it is. It is, it's challenging. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we're kind of closing in on an hour here. And the last couple of weeks, we've kind of just been rounding it out. Any words of wisdom for people? You know, I know it's, Nicole, you're kind of getting back into the office. And I know we were all kind of in different situations, but anything you want to tell the Wolves fans here before we take it off the air?
Me?
And if it's as something as simple as, hey, you know, go Wolves, then we're good with that too.
Yeah. I don't know. We got our fall schedule put together here, and we're excited for the fall. Get everybody back on campus.
Okay, so I think, yeah, can't be said better than that. So with that, Hazel, Lauren, Malu, and Coach Monanian, thanks for being on with us today. That's the kind of the wrap on the 10th episode of the Wolves Coffee Hour. We're going to be back next week with volleyball, Austin?
Volleyball.
Okay, and that's going to be on Tuesday at I did my research on if ducks could beat horses in a fight, but I didn't do my research on when the next episode is going to be. So stay tuned on Facebook and Twitter for more information, but I believe it's volleyball next Tuesday. I want to say
it is volleyball.
Volleyball on Tuesday at noon. Don't quote me on that.
It's noon.
So,
well, you can quote me now.
Big milestone, 10th episode swimming. Thanks for being on. It was a blast. And as always, go Wolves.
Wolves.